Hi guys, Paulownia here, back with some more of my amazing collection. So for tonight's little treasure, I have here another interesting little set of teaware. This one is a tea set for four with the teapot and the little sugar dish and this creamer and these adorable little cups with their matching little saucers. So this is a gorgeous hand-painted antique set, and it is just beautiful with this little lake cabin scene and the gold detailing and all of this little hand-done moriage details, which is kind of like a 3D effect that you'll find on a lot of like ceramic or porcelain that gives it a raised, like bumpy feeling to it. Kind of looks like cake frosting or icing. It just adds that little perfection to it. I love it. So this set is really gorgeous, but it's also kind of interesting.
So if you watched my video on my earthenware teaware pieces in Yuan pattern by Wood & Sons Company, you'll remember that I talked a little bit about how you can use the marks on the pieces to date them.
So the markings for this set are particularly interesting to me. In order to understand why that is, you have to know a few things. So firstly is that the Japanese word for Japan is Nippon or Nihon. The second thing is that Japan has been importing their goods, such as these porcelain tea sets, since the mid-1900s, think 1840 to 1860. However, at this time, while they put the usual maker's marks and stuff, nobody who was importing into the US really had to put where it was coming from. So, you weren't really doing the made in or anything like that. It was just like the artist's name or the brand or, that kind of thing.
Then, in 1891, with the start of the McKinley Tariff Act, the Nippon era began. This act required that all goods imported into the United States be marked with their country of origin. This led to the term Nippon being used on pieces made in Japan for export between 1891 and 1921. Then, in 1921, the U.S. government changed its mind one more time, now requiring pieces to be marked with Made in Japan or Japan. So, basically we went from no markings of origin to the marking of Nippon to the marking of Made in Japan or Japan. A little bit of jumping around through history for you. Get some close-ups here and actually let you see some of those details I was talking about earlier for a second. All of those paint strokes and the moriage detailing, beautiful gold colors of these gorgeous hand-painted details. Oh, I am so in love with this set. It's like simple but elegant and just super gorgeous. Okay, refocusing here a little bit. So our final fun fact is that this next mark coming up here is known as the Paulownia flower, or the Kiri No Mon, and is a mark of royal patronage, in this case the Empress.
So the latest I could find a piece being produced with the same pattern, stylization, and color of that marking was 1912. However, all of those pieces were marked Nippon. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
This entire set features matching marks on all of the pieces except for the cups, which are completely unmarked. And while some of them have a little bit of fading or minor imperfections, one thing is clear. They were never marked Nippon, Made in Japan, or Japan. This, combined with the colorings of the crest being dateable like I talked about earlier, implies one of two things. Either this set was made prior to the Nippon era and the McKinley Tariff Act, or it is technically possible that it is a very early Nippon era piece that was simply somehow not marked for export or potentially maybe even unfinished. Unfortunately, it's difficult to find exact information, as many of the records were lost during World War II.
Regardless of the specifics on the details, I am just so thrilled to have such a stunning example of craftsmanship in my collection. And I hope you enjoyed this little fun fact history guided tour through my little pieces here, and stay tuned for more. And, you know, if you've sticked around this long, take a look at my hair. Oh my gosh. I did such a good job today. I'm so excited. Okay, thanks.